Hi everyone, my name is Andres, and today we're going to be talking about Star Ocean 5 again. Today we're going to be focusing on a very important aspect, and I think it's the most important aspect to focus on as far as the Star Ocean franchise is concerned. I would like to just take note that this video is only going to focus on this particular issue. I know I've already spoken about it in another video, but I can't emphasize the importance of this particular subject is for the franchise, and that is the subject of magic. If you've played Star Ocean, you will know how obsolete magic is in the game, and you will know how much more improvement they can make for the game. And although the improvement is there, we saw it in Star Ocean 3, we saw it in Star Ocean 4, Star Ocean 1 and 2, yeah, it was there. The magic system was very basic. Star Ocean 1, you basically learned a set of magic and you were able to cast it. It had an animation that would pause your entire gameplay and it would hit once. Star Ocean 2, they kind of upped it. They came out with some moves that did multiple hits, and it was great, a great idea. And another thing that was really great is they did the simultaneous casting, and basically you basically casted on two magic skills and timed them so they can cast simultaneously. But there was no general direction. There was no indicator as to how to get this done correctly, or there was nothing really to kind of guide us in the right direction when it came to this particular issue with Star Ocean 2. However, it was a step in the right direction, but could be improved upon and could probably given a much more in-depth tutorial. Now we're going to go over to Star Ocean 3. Huge improvements. Star Ocean 3's battle system had almost seamless magic. There was no pausing during the animation. You casted a spell, it was performed. Sometimes you would get a lot of damage, sometimes it'll hit once depending on the spell. Still, damage output was not there, and the speed of the actual move was not there. However, they took it a step further and now made it possible to map your magic skills to a button. Very, very, very smart idea on that particular aspect of the Star Ocean 3 magic system. Gave it a lot more smoother mechanics that we're looking for. However, the damage output and the speed of the casting still wasn't up to par with melee fighters. Melee fighters are dealing tons of damage. If you're fighting with Nell, if you're fighting with Roger, if you're fighting with Pepita or Fate, Maria, who's casting energy burst and pummeling and obliterating the opponent, you compare that to any caster and you're not going to find that particular amount of damage for anything. The closest thing that I saw was Meteor Swarm with Sophia, Southern Cross for Sophia and Adre, and perhaps some other moves that did stand out. However, these are the moves that just came to mind as far as the actual damage output and speed are concerned. Star Ocean 4 came along, and jumping back to Star Ocean 3, in Star Ocean 3 I saw that there was some moves that were able to be mapped out, and some of the moves that did a lot of damage. Southern Cross, for example, was a move that did a lot of damage and could be casted rather quickly. And in Sophia had her Meteor Swarm, which also could be casted, and it was pretty good as well. However, in Star Ocean 4, they kind of took it in another direction. They started off really strong. Their basic magic, I think, was the best magic. If you played Star Ocean 4 and you played with Mayuria and with Phase, you'll notice that their Ice Needles was, just the basic Ice Needles, the same one from, 2, 3, and now this one 4. However, with proficiency, which they actually made it increase in the amount of hits that you would when you would level up the actual skill, they would attack with more hits, and these hits with if you were to increase your intelligence in the actual game, you were able to cast it more proficiently, and it became very well. It became a good move, and that was a step in the right direction. I use Ice Needles with Phase and Mayuria throughout the entire game. However, Ice Needles is the very first move you learn with Mayuria and with Phase. I don't see why I have to use the very first move I learned throughout the game because all the other magic was incompetent. Tri-Ace needs to understand that they have to make it consistent for every single magic skill available, and that the best magic is the magic that you attain at the end. A good example of this would be Divine Wave by Mayuria. Divine Wave is a poster child for first being mapped into a button and being able to be cancelled back and forth to create massive amounts of damage. Did they map it out? They didn't. Did they actually perform it enough? I don't think they didn't really think it through. So I'm going to say that Divine Wave is something that would be an example of something that could have been improved so much on, and in which they really didn't like think it through. Like, why would I want to use Ice Needles for the rest of the game? They need to make this consistent for every move and make every move and magic skill that they attain better. I'm sure a lot of fans can agree that the magic needs to improve in Star Ocean, and it needs to balance out the damage output and the amount of time it takes to cast something is it's pinnacle to the battle system, and will improve the battle system in such a way where we can be able to perform these things at correctly. If you agree with me, great. I would love to see this in Star Ocean 5. I'm sure a lot of fans would be very grateful to see this in Star Ocean 5. And I want to make sure that hopefully that the fans hear me, and that the fans are able to really come to agreement that this needs to happen. I think it's the most important thing right now that needs to be improved upon for the franchise in order to create a better Star Ocean battle system. And I can't emphasize on the importance of what the actual magic system needs to become in order for it to make the game more successful. So I'm sure if you have anything to say, or if you want to add on to what I had already said, just feel free to leave a comment. You can reach out to me at the boards. I'm at GameFAQs.com. And you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful night. And thank you for watching.